Bill Schnee on Working with Steely Dan at night and Working with Leo Sayer in the daytime. I'm John Beaudin from Rock History Music. He's won Grammys, an Emmy, a Dove Award, and he's one heck of an engineer-producer, working with artists like Barbra Streisand, Carly Simon, Ringo Starr, Marvin Gaye, Leo Sayer, Olivia Newton-John. There was Neil Diamond, Steely Dan, Pablo Cruz, Huey Lewis and the News, and don't forget Boss Skaggs, Chicago, Whitney Houston, Miles Davis, Dire Straits, George Benson, and a heck of a lot of other artists that we have not mentioned because the list would just be too long.
So were you really doing Steely Dan at night and Leo Sayer in the morning?
No. This is, well, yes, in essence. This is a very fun story. So I'm doing the Asia tracks with Steely Dan. And when we had a revolving door of drummers, every couple of days there was a new drummer. And one day they told me, well, we're changing drummers tomorrow, and it's Steve Gadd. He's come in today from New York, and we'll set him up in the morning and we'll cut with him. Oh, great. So I started, I got the drum sound and we started recording, and we cut 2 songs that first day. And I called Richard Perry and that night, and I said, Richard, you know the Steve Gadd 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover, Paul Simon thing? Yeah. He said, I'm recording him. He's in from New York. I'm recording him, and he is a monster. And Richard said, oh, do you think I could get a session with him? And I said, well, we start at 2:00, so maybe. So I called Gary Katz, the producer of Steely Dan, and who is a big fan of Richard's. And I said, do you think we could do a session in the morning? And he said, sure, go ahead. But, he knew Richard's ways, and Richard took a lot of time getting tracks. And he said, but you got to be done. We can't start late with the boys. I said, no, I'll get him out of there. Don't worry. So I called Richard back and said, come on over. 10:00, we start, and we got to get out at 1. No ifs, ands, or buts. And he said, okay. So over he came with this funny little guy, Leo Sayer, who I'd never met. And I'm not even sure I was familiar with him, with his albums that he had done in England. And we started recording this song, this single, and that was one of the times. Mixing is one thing when I can sometimes sense, oh boy, this could be a hit. But cutting tracks, there are fewer of those, but this was one. And especially when he was doing the rough vocal with it to show the band how it went. And Gadd did this great drum, another drag snare kind of thing, kind of like 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. And the song You Make Me Feel Like Dancing. And what is totally unheard of for Richard Perry is that we got it a track in 2.5 hours. And of course, leave it to Richard to say, can we do one more song? I said, Richard, we only have a half an hour. We can't go over. And he said, we won't. And so we did the next song, which turned out to be the single after that, How Much Love. And it didn't have any super fancy drumming like that on it, although the bridge is kind of cool. But anyway, so that was quite a record for Richard Perry, cutting 2 tracks in just a hair over 3 hours. And a fun thing that, it got slipped in on Steely Dan session. And I think that afternoon we cut the song Asia.
Oh my God. I found George just to be a fascinating man. What about your experience with him?
I think that was that 85? No, somewhere in the 80s.
Collaboration would have been late 80s, early 90s, I think. I forget.
Yeah, somewhere in there. Did it in New York. What I remember most about doing that album, funny enough, besides the fact it was called The Power Station, one of the top studio, and it's back to being called The Power Station, I think now. Berklee School of Music bought it, which of course leads me to the whole sad thing about where the industry has gone, that we lose all these great studios because there isn't enough money in the budgets for people to work in studios, so they work at home. And if colleges end up buying a lot of these, which I'm glad for, it keeps them alive. But it was a great studio, and he was in an isolation booth with his acoustic, and I had 2 ideas, 2 old tube mics. I'm a big fan of old tube mics in recording. I amassed a huge collection over the years, and I had 2 of them in there, And one of them, well, I won't get into details. Your audience probably doesn't care. But through just the freak of nature, I had them both up, and where they were positioned, I just loved what I heard, and I ran out to see what it was. And I've been miking acoustics that way ever since then. But just very soft spoken, very soft spoken, and of course, a lot of people would be soft spoken around George. I mean, he
told him he looked like
a
a brand new car. I said, George, you look like he says, what do you mean? I said, you look like you just came out of the box. I said, good for you. You look amazing. And he went, well, thank you very much.
We'll have more from Bill Schnee coming up in 3-4 days. His new book is out, Chairman of the Board, The Soundtrack of a Generation. There'll be links in the description of this video and to his website where you can order the book. Make sure you comment on our video, subscribe to our channel, and share our videos. Also, if you want to make a donation to the site, there's a link at the very top of the description. You can also pick up a t-shirt. I'm John Beaudin. Take care of yourself.